can taste your words. I can taste your I can taste your words. I can taste your I can taste your words. I can taste your I can taste your words. I can taste
Hello and good evening, everyone. I'm Katie McManus, business strategist and money mindset coach, and I'm here with Michelle McCarthy, brand strategist, and Kerry Barrett, PR and publicity coach. Publicity coach. Say that.
The first module is all about how to say it.
Great.
Perfect. Yeah, you're in the right place.
And tonight we're going live talking about zones of genius, which we obviously
genius. With a J and no I.
We've had some debate around how to spell genius. Anyway, and just a little housekeeping.
When you get to make up your own spelling.
I know, right?
I mean, you're doing
and just a
your
little
own
housekeeping. We are going live to the Facebooks, LinkedIn, YouTube, multiple other LinkedIns and Instagram. So welcome wherever you're joining us from. If you have any questions or want to add into the conversation, please do pop things in the chat. We love this to be interactive. And I just wanted to point out, like, we have such a great example of zones of genius because we all have our own respective zone of genius. Yeah. That really doesn't quite overlap with the other two.
Yeah, we're adjacent.
We're adjacent. Complementary.
We're genius neighbors.
Yes.
to quote Kerry earlier on, if you put all our brains together, we may have one functioning.
Listen, today, mine is the weak link. And most days, mine is the weak link.
You haven't been so you're tired.
Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. So I did a keynote yesterday. I was up at 3:30 in the morning because I like never feel prepared. So I'm practicing and blah, 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 blah. Anyway, I didn't get home until really late last night. And I'm having a very difficult time stringing one word after the other in order to make a sentence that is not even genius. That's just coherent. So get ready for an interesting live.
Well, so far you've done pretty well. So
no, I know, but I was concentrating really hard.
All those years of media training, you couldn't tell.
Kind of paying off. Oh my God.
Find out later she has captions that she's reading that she wrote in advance.
I'm reading a teleprompter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Love it.
That's actually not a bad idea. If we sound perfect next week, you'll know why.
We'll know if you just like go off on like a weird tangent that doesn't have anything to do with what we're talking about. We're like, okay, Kerry, sure.
Yeah, exactly. Well done. You're a genius.
Thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Katie, over to you.
Yeah.
How's the weather?
I was just going there. Lauren, tell us about the traffic.
Oh my God.
That would be a really fun skit for us to do, actually.
Actually, I think it would totally. Who would you be, Michelle? Would you be traffic, weather, anchor?
Oh, I'd be the weather. I'm in Australia, obviously.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. Okay, duh.
or maybe like our wildlife coordinator.
Yeah, like a correspondent.
Yes. See, I didn't even know that word. So
you could also coordinate the wildlife.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No. If we're talking about zones of genius, that is absolutely, definitely, that would be morally irresponsible of me.
Especially not the koalas, given what we now know about them from last week. Was that last week or was it the week before?
It was a couple weeks ago.
Okay, yeah. I'm really backdating these episodes, you would have had to become very attached to this live stream to remember that conversation.
I love it.
Nevertheless, we had a
like
conversation
Taylor
about how
Swift.
mean koalas were. Sorry, go ahead, Michelle.
No, I was just gonna say we could be like Taylor Swift and leave like little nuggets in each
Oh, yeah.
each live.
What
Like
do
little
they call
treasure
Easter,
hunt.
Easter eggs? Easter eggs?
That's
Is
the
that what they
word.
call- yeah.
Couldn't.
God, I have all the words.
You have all the words.
You're really firing on all cylinders. I know you
know.
don't feel like it, but you
No,
are.
you know what's I created a post about this today. I was really feeling as I was preparing for this keynote, which by the way was to the United States Nuclear Regulatory Commission. And so, and I was not feeling it at all. And I think part of my problem has been, this won't be a therapy session, I'll keep this short. Part of my problem has been stuck inside the walls of my home doing this business thing, whereas in a newsroom, and I was describing this yesterday, it's such a flurry of activity, and you've got all these huge personalities, and they're all very witty, and because they have to be, and they think quickly on their feet, and they have all these diverse perspectives, and it kept me on my toes, and it kept me sharp, and I had, each show was like its own improv class. And I haven't been around that. And so I was feeling very sort of like I had lost my creativity or lost my edge or lost my mojo. And I hadn't done a keynote in a while. And I picked up the mic, and suddenly it all sort of began to click. And I felt, I was able to crack like impromptu jokes, and I was able to ad lib, and people were like, I think they were getting it. They were laughing. It sounded genuine. I've been told that doesn't happen very often in the Nuclear Regulatory Commission bunch.
You don't say.
I was told that they were fantastic. Not at all what I was expecting. They're a great bunch. My point is, I have felt different ever since that. Like I was on fire on my podcast today, and not on my podcast, but I was guesting. Like I don't know. Spring in my step is back, and I feel like I just needed that. Maybe that's my zone of genius, or or one of my many, where I felt like I was back in the game, and I'm very modest. You're right.
Yeah, extremely modest.
Actually, that's one of the things I'm not so good at.
I mean,
No,
I think
that's not
is that not like a like a prerequisite if you're going to work in the media? Like you can't be humble.
Well, that's a good question. Well, you can have really shitty self-esteem, though. You just can't be humble about it.
But usually, people who are the most confident usually do have, bad
Shitty self-esteem. Yeah. Yep. Right here.
Same. Because you're so confident. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah. It's true. It's an odd business. Nevertheless, I've got my mojo back, at least for this. And all my words are coming.
But that the whole point that you made about how being in the newsroom and having that improv and that energy and bouncing with each other, I think that's one of the most beautiful things about a partnership is that you get to do that. You get to have that, with the people that you're partnering with. Yeah. And I think it goes well when you have Michelle. It's mirrored for me, or it's not mirrored. Michelle covering the brand stuff, me doing the business strategy of here's the steps we need to do, you doing all of our PR stuff, because we're not stepping on each other's toes. We can kind of respect each other's turf, and come together when we need things from each other without feeling like we have to guard our territory or someone's not doing enough or whatever.
Yeah. We all have our own separate areas of, it's interesting. That was a very nice segue, by the way.
Thank you.
You did that as if you were a professional news anchor.
I actually was in high school. I was an anchor in Harwich High School's news, sports, weather, and more.
Really?
You didn't know that?
I feel like now that you're saying it, I may have heard that before.
Yeah.
So were you doing the morning updates and news updates?
No, we did one show a week. It was on Friday, and we pre-recorded except for once, and that was a disaster. And it was honestly just my friend Madison and me giggling and trying to say stuff. But we didn't have a teleprompter. We were just coming up with stuff on
ad-libbing.
And you know, we do like really technically advanced things. Like at Halloween, we'd like get the green screen out and then we'd wrap like green cloth around our body.
Yeah.
Floating head.
I'm so jealous.
That is actually one of the coolest TV tricks.
Wow.
You have video of that?
I can probably go to the community center in my hometown and ask them.
Find it.
Yeah, I should.
You should find it.
Yeah, they'll do it.
We didn't have anything like that. The closest I got was being at my neighbor's house, and she got we got like a blank tape and a radio, and we pressed record. Like look, this is showing my age. The fact that I did this,
because you know you have to hit play.
Yeah, I have to do it at the same time. Anyway, yeah, and then we made a fake like news report.
Yeah.
But the funniest part was that I brought it home and played it like in my room as I was going to bed, thinking that I'd be able to trick my mother into thinking that it was like a real radio station, as if my mother, who gave birth to me and raised me and knew me every day of my life, did not know my own fucking voice. And she was like, oh, did you guys, you know, record a radio? And I'm like, no, Mom, it's the real radio. I think we even broke for ads.
Oh my God. That's amazing. Do you have that tape?
No, no. I wish I did. Even if I did, I wouldn't even know how do you play a tape now these days?
Did your tape recorder have the little handle thing on the end where you could pick it up and the one side was the speaker and the other side was the tape thing? Is that
no,
what
it was all in the middle. It was all in the middle.
Mine is like, I think I still have one in my basement from like a long time ago. So if you can find that little, and do you remember rewinding it with the pencil?
Oh my God.
Katie's all like, I don't know what a tape recorder is.
I feel like I'm just
the one who was talking about orthotics earlier on. Yeah.
Well, I feel like the time that I was a kid, you know, at the same time you guys are talking about, I went to like a private school where they didn't want us watching TV. And also my parents like didn't invest in cable. So we had like 3 channels.
Yeah. I grew up with the poverty channels as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And like we had cool things, but like, I don't know, I just didn't have those things. Like I remember them being around and going to friends' houses and like, you know, playing with
a tape recorder.
Yeah. Like I don't think we were innovative enough to think, oh, we can record something on this.
Yeah.
And we was like, oh, cool. Let's listen to this Reading Rainbow book on tape. I don't know.
Yeah. And that's why you're a genius.
Right, sure.
We discovered the cause.
Yeah, and I remember recording like the songs off the radio and then like, you know, stopping it before the ads start. But for some reason, there was one time, and if I thought hard enough about it, I'd actually even be able to tell you what song it was my sister came down to my room as I was like, you know, waiting for the song to end. She's like, Michelle, dinner's ready. Every time I listened to the song, it was interrupted by my sister telling me dinner was ready.
Oh my God.
You know.
Oh, that's priceless. That's good stuff.
Good times. Good times.
Yeah. I do the same thing. And then we'd all like record songs for our friends, even though it was highly illegal and against all sorts of copyright laws.
I mean, we'd LimeWire as well, which I'm pretty sure I gave our family computer all the diseases.
Yeah. I remember when I was 22 driving cross country with my friend Jordan, and she had like one mix CD that a friend had made for me. And we were playing it, and like we got to Mississippi, and she's like, I cannot listen to this one more time. So I took out my laptop and some blank CDs that I brought with me, and I just started burning music onto CDs so that we could play it in the car.
Do you remember the thing you have in your car?
Yeah. The CD holder? And then if you had a really good collection, you'd put one on the visor,
sun visor.
right? Where you could pull it down and then
Love it. Love it. I got that in Walmart, I think. I went to New York for a wedding, and I think it was Walmart. And I was almost, when I was a couple of months away from getting my license, and I got like all this really cool stuff. And one of them was that visor. I got I got neon lights. I got this like cool radio that like flipped down. I was the shit.
Oh, I had the flip down CD player where you push the button and then it would pop out and then you could put, so fancy. The friggin' stereo was more expensive than my car.
I hated when you hit a bump while you were playing your favorite CD and it scratched.
Yes.
And then it was forever fucked up and you're just like, damn it. Like, can they just pave the roads properly? Come on.
Yeah. I do remember that. Yeah. And I was constantly listening to Cranberries and you remember, not Cranberries, Cranberry. You remember Cranberry?
No.
I remember the Cranberries. They're a great Irish brand.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Cranberries.
The Cranberries, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I was obsessed with them.
Do you want to hear a really, really embarrassing story? You know the song Zombie? One of like their most famous. Yeah. I was
Zombie.
Definitely an adult. I thought
this is going to be a good one.
I thought the lyrics were on me.
Wait, on we?
On me.
Oh, on me. On me. I thought you said on we. I'm like, that's
no, I was like, on me. Me.
That was like a whole host of different meanings.
But I was like really like I had finished college.
You were adulting at that point. Oh, good times.
Oh my God.
Katie, you need to listen to that group and that song.
I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I've never had like cool music tastes. Like my rotation, like through high school, was like Practical Magic soundtrack.
Okay. Yeah.
Rex,
which is also Stevie Nicks. So that's...
but those two, that was it.
Wait, Practical Magic and what was the other one?
The Shrek soundtrack.
Oh my God. Shrek came out when you were in high school? Oh my God.
Yeah.
Too much. Anyway.
That was such a segue.
Yeah. We have found clearly our zone of genius is comedy.
You guys obviously have better music taste than I do, so at least you have that covered.
I think I have really bad music taste.
Spotify Wrapped is out today.
What's that?
Spotify Wrapped is out today.
Oh yeah.
I had a quick look.
Yeah.
It's not anything cool or exciting.
Okay,
at all.
That's good.
But I mean, it's funny because last year I had one, like my most played song was, I can't remember what it was, but I'd found it on a TikTok and apparently it helps babies sleep. So it was really like, it had just shown me how my previous year had went because that was like by far and away the most played song. And I'm like, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's all tracking. Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember the last few years I've checked it out and it's like all show tunes.
See, that does make you cool.
No, it's not. Show tunes and like Disney music movie soundtracks. That's it.
Yeah.
You really have not changed, but I love that.
I have
like,
not.
You're like movie soundtracks.
What was your first CD? Do you remember?
I do. It was my aunt bought it for me. She had come home from New York for a holiday and she bought me, it wasn't now what I call music, but it was something similar. And I bought it because of the volume that I would get like 2 CDs and like 20 different artists or whatever. And I played it to death. And it used to have the lyrics and the little
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Apparently zombie obviously wasn't on there because I would have fucking figured.
On me. You mean on me.
Exactly.
Kerry, what about you? Do you remember?
I think it was Roxette. Do you guys remember Roxette? No, 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 no. No?
No.
I probably know this. We probably know the song. Go on, sing it.
Oh my God. Sing it? Did you just say sing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I will. No. I can't sing it.
Yes, I know. Which one.
She's got the look. That was one of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
And then there was God, I loved that whole album. I would listen to it on repeat. Yeah, that was my very first CD. I remember listening to it in the car going to sports in high school. Yeah. The first CD I bought when I had a car was I think was the Cranberries. When I had my first car was the Cranberries, and then Pink. Pink was the second.
Pink was up there for me as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool.
What was your Katie? What was yours? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Pocahontas.
Another movie soundtrack. You're nothing if not consistent, and I have to give you that.
Have you watched Moana 2?
I haven't. No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
It's amazing. It's supposed to be amazing.
It's good. I like Moana's soundtrack. Do you have Moana soundtrack? Like,
I don't. I actually haven't seen one yet.
Oh no?
No, I haven't.
It's a great soundtrack.
Yeah, here's the problem is that like I get like super into the music.
Yeah.
Like Encanto, I know how to sing every song.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. I'm 36. I can't live like this anymore. And I can't have more songs that I'm like.
You can, yes, you can.
Can you sing?
No, it's terrible.
At least we all have that. Okay, so at least we can all establish that our zone of genius is definitely not
singing.
It's not singing.
Which is
Not
funny.
singing.
I'm actually starting a nonprofit that is all about singing.
Yeah.
Essentially. The Gay Birthday Club.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We're calling people on their birthdays. Anyone who's in the LGBTQ plus community who doesn't get a call from loved ones on their birthday anymore, we're calling them with their permission. Like they sign up for it. Happy birthday. And like, I have moments where I'm like, they really don't want this for me.
No, but that's what listen, how much fun is it to listen to people sing happy birthday out of tune? That's part of the charm. So it's part of what it's your authentic self, Katie.
In people's voicemails. Oh goodness.
It lives on in perpetuity. I love it.
So sorry.
No, I was just going to say, again, well done with the segue, talking about Zone of Genius. I do like the way that we work together, how we all sort of have our own, you were talking about this at the beginning of the call, how we all have these sort of adjacent, I see them as having I think overlap isn't quite the right word, but we all serve similar people and we all serve them in ways that allow them to grow their business, but we all have a slightly different way of going about it, and bringing the three elements together is like the full,
right?
It's like sort of the full, what's the word I'm looking for? See, it's not my zone of genius, damn it.
The full package.
It's a full package. I was going to say package and then I didn't. Yes. Yeah.
You had the word. It was fine.
I was blanking as well. I was like experience. You got it.
Package.
Katie's here to like to insert all the words for us.
Bolster our IQs. It's all the show tunes.
Oh my God. Well, and I think that's like why I'm so excited for our project, for the thing that we're doing. Cause it's like, I know that what I offer my clients is incredible and it helps them do amazing things in their businesses. And also like, I don't do the brand thing.
Yeah.
You know, there are elements of it where we're figuring out their ideal client and that kind of stuff. But like the most guidance I give on their brand colors is like, go and get your personal colors done.
Yeah.
You know, make it easy. Don't make it too complicated. But like, if you want to have a recognizable brand, you do need to have a solid, recognizable brand. And that takes originality. And then of course, PR, you know, I'm working on with Kerry right now to get featured in some news stuff for different things. But like, I've never done that. I've never guided people through that.
Yeah.
So, but like those three things together, you know, figuring out what your scalable offer is going to be, like creating that recognizable brand, and
Then
you know,
getting it out.
that visibility. Yeah. I mean, that's just such an incredible combination.
Yeah. I'm excited for the way that we're all bringing it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Because I
package,
feel like it is possible to do any one of these by itself.
Mhm.
But it's that combination that is just kind of, you know, like lighter fluid. Like it just amplifies everything. So sometimes I feel like I'm like the bridge between what Katie does and what Kerry does.
Yeah.
Because, you know, creating that brand that's going to be recognizable, that stands for something that's going to be unique and memorable.
Right.
You know, getting PR is great, but if you can get PR that's also memorable, like that's, you know, worth its weight in gold. But then also if you're getting PR and you don't have anything that's worth selling or that anybody's going to be interested in, you know, it's just going to be a flash in the pan. And so it's kind of like you're saying, it's like, it's this combination together is really like amplifying each other. So while we're not strictly crossing over, there are elements that kind of interlink, I guess.
I sort of feel like when I envision the way that we work together, it's like three, and I the word I want to use is cog, but it's way more than that. But there's like three pieces, and as each one turns, the others turn in, you know, in sync with it and make the larger wheel move.
Yeah.
Like that's how I sort of envision us.
Well, like the inside of a pocket watch is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah. Like, but with Swiss precision, if you can't tell.
Right.
I'm
sure
18 karat gold. So it's really sparkly and shiny.
Everyone is watching this live and be like, yeah, that's Swiss precision. That is exactly what I thought.
Only the best. This Swiss watch is right twice a day, okay?
Well, we're not factoring in, you know, we're East Coast.
Yeah, that's true.
Australia. So I mean,
we're right 4 times a day.
Yeah. we have time travel in here too. Come on.
We do. I've come from the future, and the future is bright. Yes. I think we need to work on our messaging.
Also, I'm gonna stop coming up with topics that we're gonna talk about because we never fucking stick to it.
No, we never do. It's we're always all over the place.
I kind of wish we could just name it afterwards because it would just make more sense.
Yeah, but they force you to come up with a name in order to put it up, I think.
I know. We should just have like a standard, like, we don't know what we're talking about. Come and join. It'll be chaotic and fun, we hope.
Stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
And I like the play on with stream.
Yeah.
See what you did.
Oh, well, I hadn't even thought of that. I did that on purpose, don't you know?
You so did. But I IQing. Well done. I lost my train of thought.
Yeah.
Does anyone watching have any questions? Pass it over to the audience. We're really like working on that trust funnel.
But I mean, okay, well, I mean, to bring it back to the topic, honestly, this is what's possible when you don't have that territory that you're stepping on.
Yeah.
And when you're not like resentful of like someone's not doing the job that no one really wants to do.
Yeah.
You know, and that's honestly where a lot of partnerships go wrong is you have people who are like, yeah, we're both so excited about like coming up with ideas.
Yeah.
And then they come up with a bunch of ideas and then they don't do anything with it, or they launch it, they don't do the sales or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's one of the most important things. Well, trust, but like, you know, one of the most important things when you're starting a partnership is making sure that everyone has a zone of genius that, you know, kind of covers all the bases.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you're kind of screwed. Like someone's going to be unhappy.
Yeah. And I can see how it would be very easy to get into a partnership with with someone who's very similar skills, because like, you know, we'll just say like you meet for coffee and you're like, boom, 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 ideas. And because you're speaking the same language, it'd be like, oh my God, we should totally do that. And then it sounds great in theory. Yeah. And then, like you say, then you get down the road and you're like, well, I don't want to do this. Or you're both bringing the same thing to the table. And then there's just conflict, which is not.
Yeah. Rather than being complementary and lifting each other up, there you end up butting heads. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've heard of business partners who have come together with a really great idea and end up in business partner therapy because they haven't delineated, you know, tasks correctly, or there's resentment that is building or growing, or because they are both speaking the exact same language, there's all those other things that are not getting done because they're bringing the exact same thing to the table.
Right. Yeah. But then also, like, in terms of like zone of genius, there's things that don't fall within either of our three wheelhouses. And then that's where outsourcing comes, because we find someone else that can plug that gap, because it's not going to be like, well, I don't want to do it. Kerry said she doesn't want to do it. So Katie, guess it's going to fall on you.
Yeah,
you know, like that's where shit goes wrong. Whereas we're like, okay, look, I'm not comfortable doing this. Okay, cool. How about we outsource it? And then and that's what we're doing as well, because we know where our strengths are. We've all been in business long enough to understand where our strengths are, what we enjoy doing, and what absolutely sucks our soul.
Right.
So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And also we just don't have like enough experience. I mean, we're going to do ads for our event, you know, and I've never done ads on my own, you know, I just started doing them for my business through this incredible person in the UK. And it's like, cool, we'll use her. That sounds great. You know?
I think there's also the ADHD trap of like, I can figure it out. It's like, no. I think when you're doing that enough times, particularly in your business, you just know that like that is not going to end well. And I think also that pressure, because it's not just for me, it's also like, I don't want to be the reason that our ads don't work because I said I could figure it out and I actually can't.
You can't.
You know, you can kind of take that hit when it's just you, but when there are other people and other people's, you know, businesses and families and livelihoods relying on it, you don't want to put yourself in that position.
You don't want to be the weak link.
Yeah,
for sure.
No. Yeah, for sure.
Excuse me.
I'm super excited. We're going to be announcing this soon. So if you're watching, it's coming. We're not going to like talk amorphously about this thing that we're up to forever. We have to dial in a few more things, and we're really, really excited to bring it to you. And it's honestly, I think it's going to completely change some lives next year. I'm not even being dramatic. I know it is.
I think it'll completely change our lives, but more importantly as well, you're right. I think bringing these three elements together is the full package, to sort of circle back to what we said. And I always felt like when I was first, so you pay with either time or money when you're a business owner, rather. It's one of those two things. And I remember when I was first starting, and in fact, not even all that long ago, feeling like there were pieces of the puzzle that were missing. And I couldn't figure out how to make the missing pieces appear, and then appear in the right spots and be able to put them together, which is why I would have loved to have had what we're talking about doing back when I was, you know, even a couple of years ago when I was figuring all of this out.
Right.
Yeah.
Seriously. Same.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome. With that, shall we wrap up and our evenings and our morning in the future?
Happy
And
Thursday.
yes. I was like, no, Kerry, it's Wednesday, but
I wasn't talking to you. Katie.
I know. You're talking to the lady in the future. But in my dream, I was like, you really are tired. It's Wednesday.
Why is the carpet wet, Todd? I don't know, Margot.
I don't even know what that's from.
That's way over my head. I thought that was an American thing. I was like,
it's from Christmas Vacation. And I wasn't talking to you, Katie, there's this scene. Okay. And then we'll wrap it up. There's this scene where Clark Griswold brings home this giant tree and he's getting ready to like trim the bottom of it. And his neighbors, Todd and Marco, got out of their car, whatever. And I'm not telling this story very well. Okay. Hold on.
We should all go watch it.
Go watch it. Go watch it. Go watch it. Anybody who has seen the movie knows this particular scene, and they ask a question and go watch it. Have you ever seen it?
Like a long time ago.
Oh God, it's hysterical.
Does it have a music soundtrack? Because if it doesn't, then you probably wouldn't.
I don't think so.
Yeah. Christmas vacation. Christmas. That's about the extent of the soundtrack.
Sounds like a really bad soundtrack.
It's not the greatest, but that's not why we're watching it.
Isn't that why people watch things? I don't understand.
This is fully off the rails.
This has been our most unhinged live yet. Yeah. Our most unhinged stream of consciousness.
There we go. I like to stay
trademark
unhinged
that
if we
fast.
can. Christmas Vacation. Everybody watch it if you haven't. It's a classic.
Okay.
And then you'll know the line. You'll absolutely 100% know the line. Love it.
Okay.
I won't ruin it.
All right.
Okay.
On that
great.
note, thank you for joining
I
us.
totally derailed our goodbye. I'm sorry.
No. This is
I can feel the genius seeping out of my ears.
Come back.
It's officially gone. It's time to go to bed. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Citadino and Claire, for being here, and everyone else who has joined in. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did.
Yes.
I'm Katie McManus.
I'm Michelle McCarthy.
And I'm Kerry Barrett.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night. See you later.